Protect Caitlin Clark at all costs. Jimmy Fallon makes desperate plea to WNBA against Fever Star's brutal treatment. The Indiana Fever are battling through a tough WNBA season, sitting at an even 6-6 record after a disheartening 88-77 loss to the Golden State Valkyries on June 19. But beyond their win-loss column, the headlines have been dominated by one alarming topic: the brutal on-court treatment of Caitlin Clark on June 17 in the game against the Connecticut Sun. Now, a surprising voice has stepped in to support her, and that is none other than late-night host Jimmy Fallon, who used his unique platform to advocate for Clark. Jimmy Fallon has a message for the WNBA community and Caitlin Clark. In the June 19 segment of The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, the comedian dove into his usual monologue, which included jokes about the current U.S. political scenario, but then took a sharp turn. Addressing the recent wave of physicality aimed at Clark, Fallon made a passionate plea to the WNBA community. Where the press first asked Trump how he'll stop the fighting, he thought they meant the WNBA. What is going on? Protect Caitlin Clark at all costs, please. Enough of this, please, said Fallon during the segment regarding the physical altercations on the court during the June 17 matchup. If we rewind to that matchup between the Fever and Sun, things spiraled in the third quarter. Sun guard J.C. Sheldon was defending Clark as she was dribbling. Sheldon swung her arm upward and struck Clark in the eye, trying to steal the ball. Clark instinctively pushed Sheldon back to regain space. But before the situation could settle, Connecticut's Marina Mabrey stormed in and delivered a hard shoulder bump to Clark, sending her crashing to the floor. Clark was assessed a technical foul, while Sheldon received a flagrant one for the initial contact. Mabrey, who many felt escalated the conflict unnecessarily, was given a technical foul during the game, but the league later upgraded her penalty to a flagrant 2. This incident happened just days after Clark returned to the court on June 13, following a 5-game absence due to a left quadriceps injury. Her comeback was nothing short of electric, as she dropped a season-high 32 points against the New York Liberty. She followed it up with a strong 20-point performance against the Sun. However, fans grew concerned when her momentum appeared to stall on June 19 against the Valkyries. In that game, Clark struggled from beyond the arc, going 0 for 7 from 3 and finishing with 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists. Clark is averaging an impressive 19.9 points, 8.7 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game. Her next test: a high-stakes matchup against the Las Vegas Aces on June 22 at T-Mobile Arena. In the increasingly spotlighted world of women's basketball, a storm is brewing, not just on the hardwood, but in living rooms, social media feeds, and even late-night television. When Jimmy Fallon, host of The Tonight Show, recently took a pause from jokes and celebrity skits to issue a passionate appeal: protect Caitlin Clark at all costs, it sent a ripple through sports culture. His plea wasn't just comedic exaggeration. It echoed the sentiment of millions of fans who've watched the young phenom, Caitlin Clark, navigate a whirlwind start to her WNBA career, not just with baskets and assists, but with bruises and hard hits. Clark, the #1 overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, has become more than just an athlete. She is a symbol of possibility, a lightning rod for conversation, and, whether she wanted it or not, a measuring stick for the league's future. Her arrival brought millions of new eyes to the WNBA. Ratings soared, arenas sold out, jerseys flew off shelves. She brought a fandom that wasn't just hungry for basketball, but for a new kind of narrative, one that merges talent, confidence, and the energy of a cultural moment. And yet, with every step into this new limelight, Clark has been met with resistance. Not just in fierce defense, expected and respected at the professional level, but in controversial physicality that borders on excessive. Hard screens, flagrant fouls, targeted body checks. Critics say it's part of the game. Others argue it's hazing, a resentment-fueled attempt to humble the prodigy who dared to change the conversation. Jimmy Fallon's plea might seem like a punchline, but the underlying message carries weight. What kind of league do we want the WNBA to be? To protect Caitlin Clark is not to give her special treatment. to recognize the value of stars in a league fighting for relevance on the global stage. It's to nurture the very force that has generated record-breaking exposure and interest in women's basketball. You don't water down the competition to accommodate a star.